Joy Guru, everyone. My name is Varsha S. Datta. I'm from Minneapolis, United States. On this holy occasion of 133rd birth anniversary of Sri Sri Thakur Anukul Chandra, I welcome everyone to this Matri Sammelan. This whole event calls for happiness and enthusiasm. And with this very happiness and enthusiasm, let's begin today's event. We will start with prayers followed by 2 minutes meditation. I now request Rita Ma from Australia to kindly lead the prayers for us.
राधा स्वामी नाम जुगाए सोई तरे कले कलेश सब नाशो सुख पावे सब दुख हरे ऐसा नाम अपार कोई भेद जनाए जो जाने सो पार बहुरी न जग में जन्मय राधा स्वामी गाँव करो जन्म सफल करे हे ही नाम निज नाम है मन अपने धर ले बैठक स्वामी अद्भुति राधा निरख निहार और न कोई लख सके शोभाय गमय पार गुप्त रूप जह धोरिया राधा स्वामी नाम बिना मेहर नहीं पावे जो कहीं बिसराम करो बंदगी राधा स्वामी आगे जिन पर पूजियो बहु जागे बारंबार करो प्रणाम सदगुरु पदमाधम सत्य नाम आदि अनादि अजुगदि अनाम संत स्वरूप छोड़ निज धाम आवे भवजल नाव लगाए हमसे जीवन लिहा चढ़ाए सबद दिलाया सुरत बताए करम हरम शेलिया बचाए कोटि कोटि करु वंदना करव करव दंडवत राधा स्वामी मिल गए फूला भक्ति का स्रोत भक्ति सुनाए सबसे नारी वेद कथे बनताहि विचारी सत्य पुरुष चौथे पदवास संतन का सदा विलास सुगर दर्शाया गुरुपुरी लीला बजे जहाँ चरच दूरे आगे अलख पुरुष दरबार देखा जाए सुरासि सारा ईश्वर यगमाल कही तनारा संत सुरत कही करत विहारा कहाँ से दर्शे अटल अटारी अद्भुत रथ स्वामी मोहल सवारी सूरत हुई अति कर्म गणानी पुरुष नामी जाय सम गुरु विष्णु गुरुदेव महेश्वर गुरुरेव परं ब्रह्म तस्मै श्री गुरवे नमः अखण्डमण्डलाकारं व्याप्तं येन चराचरं तत्पादं दर्शितं येन तस्मै श्री गुरवे नमः अज्ञानतिमिरान्धस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मीलितं येन तस्मै श्री गुरवे नमः स्थावरं जङ्गमं व्याप्तं येन कृष्णं चराचरं तत्पादं दर्शितं येन तस्मै श्री गुरवे नमः चिद्रूपेण परिवर्तं त्रैलोक्यं सचराचरं तत्पादं दर्शितं येन तस्मै श्री गुरवे नमः न गुरुराधिकं तत्त्वं न गुरुराधिकं तपः तत्त्वज्ञानाद्परं नास्ति तस्मै श्री गुरवे नमः मन्नाथ श्री जगन्नाथ मद्गुरु श्री जगद्गुरु मदात्मा सर्वभूतात्मा तस्मै श्री गुरवे नमः गुरुरादिनादिश्च गुरुपरमदैवतम गुरुवारं नरं नास्ति तस्मै श्री गुरवे नमः ब्रह्मानन्दं परमसुखदं केवलं ज्ञानमूर्तिं दन्दातीतं गगनसदृशं तत्तं स्वादिलक्षणम् एकं नित्यं विमलमोचनं सर्वदि साक्षिभूतं भवातीतं त्रिगुणरहितं सद्गुरु त्वं नमामि सद्गुरु त्वं नमामि सद्गुरु त्वं नमामि.
We will now have 2 minutes meditation. I now request Redalin Ma from Australia to read the Holy Satyanusaran in English.
I am now reciting from the English translation of Satyanusaran, the handwritten book by Sri Sri Thakur Anukul Chandra. Be on your guard and do not serve your master through servants or by ordering anyone else. Don't be deprived of bliss. Disregard for children never appears in the mother's heart because she cares for them with her own hands. Hence her love is so great. In serving the master with one's own hands, pride becomes light, conceit goes away, and love grows. The master is the materialized form of bliss, and he is the absolute. One must take the master as one's own. When one thinks of mother, father, son, etc., his face would also appear in the mind. It is better to fear his love than his scolding. If I do any wrong, he will be pained in his heart. Always try to follow him, obey carefully what he says, and try unceasingly to plant that by practice in your character. That is sadhana.
I now request Ratna Ma from Canada to read Nari Niti in English.
Jai Guru, Nari Niti, daughter mine, your service, your conduct, your thought, and your words should create in the male such a yielding that they kneel down humbly and respectfully before you and reverentially address you, my mother, my creator, and be charmed, enlightened, gratified, and obliged. Then they are a true woman, then you are chastity. Female instincts, in the instinct of the female, there are constancy, religiousness, nursing, serving, helping, protectiveness, inspiration, and reproduction. Do not lose any of these instincts of yours. If they are lost, what is left for you? Jai Guru.
I now request Ankita Ma from Canada to read the message.
Joy Guru to everyone. Unchaste go of life. In adherence, unchaste go of life. And indiscriminate, incompatible intake of food invite unhealthiness, both physical and mental. Hence, are the danger signals to existential propitiousness. The Message, Volume Number 8. Jai Guru.
I now request Pooja Ma from United Kingdom to read a verse from Sri Sri Thakur's Health and Hygiene book.
Disease may attack in many ways. Of them, the main is due to inborn constitution. Of others causes are various attacks from outward nature which contaminates our system. Besides that, there are also lapses in our conduct. If our inner preventive zeal be not vivacious, then we can hardly protect ourselves from the impact of that outward nature, at least from that what is called stranger disease. If we maintain our existential nature to be vitalized and integrated by right adjustment, we may be saved then to a great extent. And most of them, what come out of inner constitution, may also be prevented by a proper existential adjustment, or what could be inevitable might be curtailed to a great extent. So I say, with right and beautiful way, do enhance your resistance power against that what come from outer nature through conflict and makes you sick. And what lay within your inner nature, what have kept such ground prepared from your very birth. Do try to prevent that too, as far as you can, by inner adjustment, with apt nursing and application of medicine, through proper resistance of conduct, behavior, and so on. You shall be relieved to a great extent by managing the situation. Jai Guru.
I now request Neelam Ma from United States to sing Pujaniya Sadhana Dee's song, which is a beautiful prayer song written by Sri Sri Thakur's daughter.
जय गुरु। पूजनीय साधना दी रचित प्रार्थना। मेरे इष्ट, मेरे आदर्श, आज से मेरा जीवन तुम्हारा है। तुम्हारी वृद्धि मेरी वृद्धि को स्पर्श करे। तुम्हारी प्रतिष्ठा करना ही मेरे जीवन का सर्वप्रथम व्रत हो। नारी नीति में तुमने कहा है, तुम कल्याणी रूप में, सती रूप में, नारी रूप में हो। मुझे अपने वैशिष्ट्य में वर्धन छिलक देखना चाहती हो। शपथ खाती हूँ मेरे जीवन प्रति मुहूर्त में मैं तुम्हारी उस इच्छा को पूर्ण करने की चेष्टा करूंगी। तुम उज्ज्वल हो उठो, पुलक में, जीवन में, यश में और महान संवेग में। मैं नारी हूँ, अमृत की अधिकारिणी हूँ। आशीर्वाद करो जिससे इस अशेष अमृत द्वारा निपीड़ित, व्यथित, कर्मिष्ठ, आदर्श अनुप्राण नर को मैं अपूर्व प्राणन स्नान से स्नात करा के तुम्हारी ओर उसे और भी आगे बढ़ा सकूं। तुमने मुझे प्रेम की अधिकारिणी बनाया है। मैं अपने समस्त प्रेम को निशेष करके तुमको तेजोदीप जीवन में देखना चाहती हूँ। तुम इस शुभ क्षण में आशीर्वाद करो जिससे मैं इसी तरह से मेरा चलन तुम्हें तुम्हारी इच्छा को मूर्त कर तुम्हारे महान अभियान को आबाद कर उठा सकूं। मेरे अस्थि वृद्धि के परम उदाता, मेरे प्रिय परम, जन्म जन्मांतर के बहुत तपस्या के फलस्वरूप तुमको हमने पाया है। हम इस जीवन में सार्थक हुआ है हमारा जन्म। धन्य हुई हूँ, कृतार्थ हुई हूँ। तुम्हारा चरण स्पर्श कर युग युग से तपस्या करके भी मूर्त नहीं कर सका है। कितने पुण्य फल से उस तुमको मूर्त किया है, अपूर्व भगवान को किया है, मानुष भगवान दयाल। कितना भाग्य है हमारा प्रियतम। आज इस शुभ क्षण में तुम्हारे चरणों में सिर्फ यही प्रार्थना है, यही प्रार्थना, तुम दीर्घायु हो, स्वस्थ रहो, सुखी बनो, तुम्हारी इच्छा ही पूर्ण हो और हमें दो वैसी प्रेरणा जो हमें सक्षम बनाएगी बचने बढ़ने का अपूर्व सौरभ प्रचारित होकर सपरिपार्श्विक हमें अपनी जीवन वृद्धि के अनुकूल बना दे। हे दर्दी बंधु, हे सर्वस्व, तुम ही मेरे जीवन हो। मैं जानती हूँ तुम्हारे जैसे बंधु, तुम्हारे जैसे प्रिय मेरा और कोई नहीं है। तुम्हारे हर कर्म में, हर भंगिमा में मेरा यह विश्वास दृढ़तर हो। आशीर्वाद करो दयाल, मैं जिससे क्षणभर नहीं भूलूं। तुम मेरे प्रेष्ठ हो, तुम मेरे अनुकूल हो, तुम मेरे श्रेष्ठ हो। अतः दासी की प्रार्थना है तुम्हारा जीवन चिरवर्धन में वर्धित हो उठे, तुम्हारी वृद्धि मेरी वृद्धि को स्पर्श करे, मेरा नारी तत्व धन्य हो, सार्थक हो तुम्हारी नारी नीति के प्रतिपालन में। हे प्रिय राजाधिराज सम्राट, तुम रहो, तुम बचो, हमारे जीवन चलन के प्रति पदक्षेप में ध्वनित हो उठे। स्वस्ति स्वस्ति स्वस्ति। जय गुरु।
Thank you, Neelamma, for that beautiful song. I now request Shiva Ma, Anjali Ma, Mishti Ma, Supti Ma, Ananya Ma from United Kingdom and United States to sing the Panchali song.
জয় গুরু। আমি এখন পাঁচালীটা শুরু করছি। তোরা শোন রে ভাই, বলে যাই বাঁচা বাড়ার পথ, যে পথে চলেছে ঠাকুর অনুকূলের রথ। শোনো পুণ্য কথা, শোনো পুণ্য কথা, তার বারতা কহি বিবরণ। যে কথা শুনিলে হয় পাপ বিমোচন। এলো সোনার মানুষ, এলো সোনার মানুষ, মহাপুরুষ অনুকূল রায়। পাপি তাপি উদ্ধারিতে সোনার বাংলায়, গ্রাম হিমায়তপুরে, গ্রাম হিমায়তপুরে, পদ্মার তীরে, জেলা পাবনায়। শিবচন্দ্র চক্রবর্তী অতি সদাশয়, মাতা মনমোহিনী।
মাতা মনমোহিনী তার গৃহিণী অতি পুণ্যবতী, যার গৃহে জন্ম নিলেন ত্রিলোকেরও প্রতি। করে গৃহ আলো, করে গৃহ আলো, প্রেমময় ঠাকুর অনুকূল, যার লক্ষ লক্ষ শিষ্য পূজে চরণ রাতুল। তাঁর রূপ দেখে, তার রূপ দেখে, ভাব দেখে কহনে না যায়, ভুবন মোহন রূপে সবারে ভুলায়, শোনো তার মহিমা, শোনো তার মহিমা, মাধুরিমা নাহি পারাবার। নবরূপে এলো সে যে দেব অবতার, শোনো ধর্মের কথা,
শোনো ধর্মের কথা, তার বারতায় অতি চমৎকার। বাঁচা বাড়ায় আসল নীতি, ধর্ম করো সার, করো খাদ্য বিচার, করো খাদ্য বিচার সদাচার, ঋষি বাক্য পালো, ইষ্ট বেশি সেবা করে ইষ্ট পথে চলো, এ তো আর্য রীতি, এই তো আর্য রীতি, ধর্ম রীতি, হিংসা দেশ ছাড়ো, হিন্দু বৌদ্ধ মুসলমান যে যার পথে চলো, পালো বর্ণাশ্রম, পালো বর্ণাশ্রম, করো প্রেম, ইষ্ট কর্ম করো, যজন যাজন ইষ্টবৃত্তি যথাবিধি পালো, পালো সুস্তায়নী,
পালো সস্তায়নী মহান বাণী পালন করো ভাই, ত্রিজগতে নামের সম ঔষধার নাই, এ তো বাঁচার পথ, এ তো বাঁচার পথ, ভিন্ন মত অন্য কিছু নাই, বিধি মতে অনুলোমে বিয়ে করো ভাই, গড়ো আর্য সমাজ, গড়ো আর্য সমাজ, বাড়াও ধাজ আর্য কৃষ্টি রাখো, বুদ্ধ ঈশায় রসুল কৃষ্ণে সমান চোখে দেখো, তারাই পূর্বতন, তারাই পূর্বতন, বর্তমান ঠাকুর অনুকূল, তার বিধি মেনে চলো, কাটাও মনের ভুল, পাবে মহাশান্তি,
পাবে মহাশান্তি, যাবে ভ্রান্তি, পাবে সত্য যুগ, কালো ভাজার ভ্রষ্টাচার যাবে মহারোগ, ভাইরে ভয় নাই, ভাইরে ভয় নাই, প্রাণ ভাই অনুকূলে রথ, ধর্ম নষ্ট নাহি হবে, পাবে বাঁচার পথ, এই সৎসঙ্গে, এই সৎসঙ্গে মহারঙ্গে করহ বিহার, অধম সন্তান ভজে পদ যুগল তার, জয় পুরুষোত্তম, জয় পুরুষোত্তম, রসুল নাম বুদ্ধ যিশু নাম, শ্রী চৈতন্য শ্রী অনুকূল কৃষ্ণ ঘন শ্যাম, বন্দে পুরুষোত্তম, বন্দে পুরুষোত্তম, বন্দে পুরুষোত্তম। জয় গুরু সবাইকে।
Thank you, mothers, for that wonderful song. I now request Rima Ma, Poppy Ma, Toma Ma, and Tuli Ma from Australia to present the first bhajan for us.
মা মা মা, শ্রীপদ পঙ্কজ অলুতরঞ্জিত, রক্ত কমল যেন শোভিছে, শ্রীপদ পল্লব জগত দুর্লভ, ভকত জন কৃপা লভিছে, শ্রীপদ পঙ্কজ অলুতরঞ্জিত, রক্ত কমল যেন শোভিছে, মাধুরী মণ্ডিত মমতা সিঞ্চিত, দুনয়নে করুণা ঝরিছে, হৃদয় পদ্ম আলো করিছে, শ্রীপদ পঙ্কজ অলোক তরুঞ্জিত, রক্ত কমল যেন শোভিছে। সফল জীবন সাধন পূজন, দর্শনে হৃদয় ভরিছে। রতন খচিত বাসন ভূষণ, শ্রী অঙ্গে কত শোভা ধরিছে। শ্রীমন্ত সজ্জিত সিন্দুর চর্চিত, সুন্দর রূপ সবে হেরিছে। বাতাস বাহিত সুগন্ধ সৌরভ, ভুবন আমোদিত করিছে। শ্রীপদ পঙ্কজ অলোক তরঞ্জিত, রক্ত কমল যেন শোভিছে। লাবণ্য প্রভায় বিভূতি বিভায়, প্রকৃতি অপরূপ সাজিছে। দেব প্রসবিনী জগত জননী, জগতে বরা ভয় দানিছে।
শ্রীপদ পঙ্কজ আলোক তরঞ্জিত, রক্ত কমল যেন শোভিছে। বিনা নিন্দিত ভুবন বাঞ্ছিত, কণ্ঠে মধুর ধ্বনি বাজিছে। অধম সন্তানে দয়া করো মাগো, চরণ রেণু তব যাচিছে। শ্রীপদ পঙ্কজ অলোক তরঞ্জিত, রক্ত কমল যেন শোভিছে। শ্রীপদ পল্লব জগত দুর্লভ, ভকত জন কৃপা লোভিছে। শ্রীপদ পঙ্কজ অলোক তরঞ্জিত, রক্ত কমল যেন শোভিছে। জয় গুরু।
Thank you, mothers, for that wonderful and energetic bhajan. Moving on to the next country, we have Subarnama, Payalma, Sweetie Ma from Singapore presenting the second bhajan.
बटे रहे हम तुमने उनके बीच का फैसला मिटा दिया हे प्रभु तुम्हारे प्यार ने सद्गुरु तुम्हारे प्यार ने जीना सिखा दिया आंसू हमारे पोंछ कर आंसू हमारे पोंछ कर हंसना सिखा दिया हे प्रभु तुम्हारे प्यार ने ठाकुर तुम्हारे प्यार ने जीना सिखा दिया हे प्रभु तुम्हारे प्यार ने।
I now request Sutipa Ma, Chandana Ma, Sobita Ma, Hina Ma, and Jurmur Ma from New York to present another bhajan. Thank you, mothers, for that beautiful song. I now request Sushri Sangita Puhanma from London, United Kingdom, to enlighten and share a few words with us.
I offer my sincere prayer at the lotus feet of Sri Thakur. My hearty joy grew to everyone connected in this iconic global program, the International Virtual Utsav, on the auspicious occasion of 133rd birth anniversary of Sri Sri Thakur Anukul Chandra. My joy Guru to all. It is indeed a blessed day, and we all are immensely fortunate to be part of this marvelous moment which has brought us together and which could only be visualized by none other than our beloved present Acharya Dev Sri Sri Dada. I offer my sincere prayer at his lotus feet. And this global connection could only be possible because of the connector himself, the connector, our love Lord, and the divine blessings of our beloved Sri Sri Dada. It is indeed an overwhelming moment for all of us. Having an opportunity in this iconic time, in this iconic program, to share a few words, a few thoughts based on my very limited understanding of Thakur's philosophy, his teaching, his guidance, is an absolute honor and privilege for me. I hope you all must be enjoying the day packed with a range of programs thoughtfully crafted by every single person involved in this process directly or indirectly since its inception. And this particular segment is allocated to talk about, to discuss, to deliberate on topics related to women and mothers. If you ask me why there is a requirement to talk about women separately, and this question is very obvious, because we are living in a time, and there is a narrative, it says men and women are equal, that should be given same kind of teaching. Well, I could only say that in Sri Sri Thakur Anukul Chandra's philosophy, women have a special place, women have a special role to play. The core of Sri Sri Thakur's teaching, his philosophy, is creating human beings with character who could contribute to the process of life, the process of existence and growth that could ultimately lead to building a nation. So Thakur has placed utmost importance on the role of a mother, on the role of a woman in this process of existence and growth, because Thakur says woman is the creator. She has the power to create and to grow, which man does not have. So that is why the creator has the capacity to create, to nurture, to nourish the best possible creation. That is why she has to understand how she is different, how her role, her distinctiveness is different. Sri Thakur Anukul Chandra has given utmost importance to the empowerment of women. Empowerment of what? Empowerment of her distinctiveness that defines her existence. Thakur says men and women are different in their distinctiveness, which we often misunderstand. They are not equal. They could be equitable. There is no equality between men and women. There could be equitability between men and women. They could be given equal opportunity to grow and flourish and prosper. But you have to understand that they are two different entities. No two things could be equal. So those distinctiveness that define women need to be nurtured, need to be nourished, need to be empowered, need to be enriched with appropriate guidance, appropriate teaching, appropriate learning, and at the very appropriate time. And Thakur says every woman, irrespective of the age, should be respected as a mother, because motherhood is spontaneous in a woman. It comes very naturally to a woman. And that does not come only by giving birth. And we have many such examples around us, many such examples of women in the world around us who are referred to as mothers without going through the biological process of motherhood. And the Nobel laureate, Mother Teresa, is one such example. It is her motherly love, her motherly care, her motherly service, her motherly affection that define her as a mother to the world. She is represented, she is referred as a mother. So those distinctiveness are very natural. It comes very naturally to a woman. And the phase of motherhood and womanhood, which is Thakur has given utmost importance, it comes after a few stages in life. And it is a time when the woman is matured, is understanding, and is ready to take responsibility. But prior to that, there is other phases. So the phase from a girlhood to motherhood or the womanhood, there is a time, and that phase needs to be properly nurtured, properly nourished, properly enriched. And if we don't do that, then we could not expect the woman could contribute or create the best or the grow a best possible could contribute to best possible creation. And for an example, a fruit bearing plant, we do not plant a tree and expect a fruit overnight. That is a process we need to follow, and we do follow the process, starting from finding or getting a good quality seed, and then the process of germination to seedling to the entire process of watering time. We have to ensure that it is properly, it gets properly proper sunshine, proper water. We have to ensure it is the weeding process and all sort of thing, so that the plant can grow to appropriately and with a healthy within a healthy environment to bear good fruit. And in my limited understanding, I think this applies to the growth of a woman. And I apply that, I think that is that the same logic applies to the growth of a woman. If that process is not enriched, not empowered with appropriate preparation, appropriate guidance, the journey of girlhood and motherhood, then we cannot expect the woman could have a meaningful contribution in the process of creation and growth. So the behavior, the conduct, the emotional and physiological aspects, the virtues of a man and woman, which are different. So Thakur's teaching is to empower men and women in that distinctiveness, for an entire development of their own existence. When we talk about entirety, the entirety means it comprises physical, mental, spiritual, emotional, all the aspects, all the things, so that the woman could grow to a balanced person, to grow as a person who could contribute meaningfully or who could lead a meaningful life. So the behaviors and conducts of a woman or a man, it's an internal process, it's an internal physiological process, which is characteristically different for both man and woman. That is why we cannot just say that men and women are equal. And those distinctiveness need to be understood from the very, very beginning, from the very early age. And that is where we misunderstand it, and we buy the narrative that men and women are equal. So we have to understand that they're not equal, but because we cannot expect the same kind of love, some kind of care and affection from our mother, which we expect from our father, or we cannot expect the same kind of affection from our father which we expect from our mother. So as when we understand that, that is very easy to find out what are the distinctiveness of a woman. And Sri Thakur doesn't say that that should not be equitable. Thakur says women should be given all kind of possible opportunities that contributes to her empowerment. But what is the problem is that in today's world, we witness for last a few decades there is a revolutionary change regarding women's position in the society. We see many women now in different positions. There is no dearth of women in professionally and educationally accomplished women, and perhaps that is what we we understand that is success, or that is successful woman, but that is very fragmented way of accomplishment. There is hardly any place in the world where the woman has not marked her presence. And recently we witnessed it in the United States election, the elected Vice President, Ms. Kamala Harris, who has marked her position to marked her way to the White House, which is a historic moment. No woman had ever done that. Should we say that that is an accomplished woman? Well, that is one part of accomplishment, and we have to see what are the other parts of accomplishment. Her role as a mother, her role as a wife, and so on. So we notice in our daily life, in the world around, many such accomplishments where the women are breaking the glass ceilings and going and marking that place. But these are fragmented accomplishment. This is not the overall empowerment or accomplishment. Because at the same time, we see there are many broken relationships, many broken families, many broken houses, people with mentally, emotionally imbalance, unstable, mental health problems. Then if that is accomplishment, if that is achievement of women, financially and educationally accomplished, then why that should positively contribute to the in the formation of nation, in the process of building family or leading a life. But we don't see that. That is a reverse process in that way. So there we have to reflect what went wrong, where our investment went wrong, because we invested in creating good professionals, we invested in creating good students, we invested in women's education and to make them or empower them in a particular way, because that is where probably we see the tangible outcomes. And we have never invested, and what we have invested in, we get that around us. We have never invested perhaps to creating a human being which is who is accomplished, who is empowered, who is balanced from all aspects. And Thakur, that doesn't mean that Thakur doesn't say that women should not be educated, or people might say, oh, that is a very orthodox thought, that women should not be educated, or women should not be play the roles they are playing. I would say no. Sri Thakur Anukul Chandra has given utmost importance to women's education, but at the same time Thakur says how important, how advanced your education might be, but your individual distinctiveness need to be intact. So there we went wrong, because no institutions teach us the value of distinctiveness. The institutions do not teach us to identify what are the distinctiveness. Institution teaches competition, it does not teach us compassion. That is what lacking. So that is what the reflection we see around. In today's world, we see youth particularly are highly qualified, educationally very well established, or having good degrees, but mentally disturbed, emotionally imbalanced, physically unhealthy, and psychologically disturbed and perhaps spiritually perhaps nowhere. Can we expect those youth can contribute in the process of living a balanced life? The answer is no. So we have to understand where things could be improved. So that is where we need a teacher, a guru, a guide, a mentor who could show us the path, who could guide us in this process to identify our distinctiveness and how to enrich or empower, how to nourish those distinctiveness. Because all these things happening around us is a process, is a result of our complexities. Because we are hijacked by the complexities that control our process of life and growth. Unless until we control the complexities, then we could not have the balanced life. We could not, leap or go to the womanhood or motherhood and have the ability to create or grow the best possible creation. So those complexities need to be channelized appropriately, and it could only be channelized when we have an ideal in our life, who could teach us, who could show us the path, and who could guide us at the entire way. So that is where Sri Thakur Anukul Chandra says there needs to be a constancy, there needs to be a process to follow that path to becoming a good human being, becoming a balanced human being. The moment we have that entity to control the imbalance factor, the imbalance complexes in our life, then only we'll be able to be a balanced person. So in today's world, we see many times we listen that that there are cause and effect principles. That said, every action directs to the result. And Sri Thakur Anukul Chandra had said it 112 years before. That in his only handwritten book, that doing is the mother of getting. If you want to get something, we have to understand the process and do that exactly. And expecting a result without doing is foolishness. So we have to follow the process. So every desired result comes with the process of continuity. Because there is no dearth of information around the world. If you just go to Google and just type it, how to lead a balanced life, or how to be a accomplished woman or whatever, you get thousands of things. It's much more than what you can absorb. But then there is no dearth of information. Everybody knows that. Knowing and doing, there is a gap. We know everything, but we don't do that. And we don't do that because there is no process of doing. Nobody is there to tell us. For everything, we have to do it. We can sit in a spiritual gathering and listen for hours and hours, and we enjoy wow, that is so much enriching talk. But can we just go back and to our home and expect that it will be implemented in our life without doing? No, we cannot expect that. That is where Sri Thakur Anukul Chandra says we have to do it, we have to follow a certain process. And that process comes when we have a living ideal, when we have a mentor in our life. So for everything, we need a teacher, we need a syllabus, and that we have to follow properly. Because even if we are going to school, we need to follow the syllabus. We listen to the teacher as the teacher says. And unless until we do that, we cannot write the exam or we cannot pass the paper. And Thakur says, if you do not read, no university will give you the certificate. So when we understand what we are doing and how we are doing and what are the process of doing, then only you would be able to produce, we will be able to give back what is expected from us. So coming to the end part of my deliberation, we need to have an ideal in our life, And Sri Thakur says, you might, perform thousands of worship, thousand acts of worship, thousands of time of repetition of holy name, but as long as you are not attached to your desired one or the ideal in such a way that he becomes the first of our interest in all aspects, then we cannot expect success in life, success of becoming a good woman in life. So the process needs to be strong, needs to be unbroken, and the process of unbroken attachment, unbroken commitment comes when we surrender ourselves completely and follow our ideal the way he wants us to do. When we serve our ideal, our master, our guide the way he wants, then only we will be able to accomplish the life he wants us to live. And if when we start following him, we could only do that what he wants us to do. We cannot do anything wrong. We cannot go anywhere wrong, because we are living in a time that is a lot of things are available, and that is a very possibility to get distracted, and that is what happening around. So when we bring our children, when we put our children, or whether it's daughter or son or girls and boys, in that process of growth, in the process of living or having that attachment with the ideal, then only we could be able to connect and channelize their complexities, their complexes appropriately, that could lead them to have a beautiful life, to have a balanced life, to have a meaningful life. So there where I come to an end to I would like to conclude here, and we have to just see if we have the ideal in our life, where we have placed him, whether he is center of everything we are doing, or he is somewhere corner or somewhere side of a life. If we have placed him somewhere in the corner or side, we have to bring him at the center to make our life the way he wants us to live. And once we placed him in the center, we don't have to look for anything else. We could only expect an upward growth in our life. That is where an woman's contribution and a woman's accomplishment would be accomplished in true sense. Joy Guru.
Thank you, Ma, for that beautiful, enlightening, and enlivening words. I'm sure everyone here has been inspired by your experiences. I now request Priyanka Ma, Momita Ma, Jayati Ma from Canada to sing a bhajan.
Haki
छवि लाजल जाए अचले रवि धवल भास मधुर हासा धवल भास मधुर हासा सकल प्राण अभिलाषा की सखी बखाने के सोही की सखी बखाने के सोही अमध वचन धविदार हेरे लोके आवे तमस पार हेरे लोके आवे तमस पार हेरे लोके आवे तमस पार हेरे लोके आवे तमस पार
गमा पा गमा पानी नी सा भदर बिहाने बिहग गाने हर से उथल चित अपार अखिल जन बिगड़ी बादल तेर लोके आवे तमस पार
सगम पगम पानी नी सा सानी नी सानी पगम पमग मग मग सनी सा गम पानी नी सा गम पानी नी सा
बिरथा जतेक मान लाज बिसरी रूप रंग साज बिरथा जतेक मान लाज बिसरी रूप रंग साज नेहारे बनी मीख सजन तीर पिब सखिता पियो मन नेहारे बनी मीख सजन तीर पिब सखिता पियो मन नाही आज कोन विचार अपल हेरब बंधु हमार नाही आज कोन विचार अपल हेरब बंधु हमार हेरे लोके आवे तमस पार हेरे लोके आवे तमस पार हेरे लोके आवे तमस पार हेरे लोके आवे तमस पार
भदर बिहाने बिहग गाने हरस उथल चित पार
अखिल जर बिगड़ी बादल तेर लोके आवे तमस पार
हेरे लोके आवे तमस पार हेरे लोके आवे तमस पार
लोके आवे तमस पार हेर लोके आवे तमस पार हेर लोके आवे तमस पार हेर लोके आवे तमस पार
Thank you, mothers, for that energizing bhajan. I now request Prituma, Dikshama, Srijanama from United States to present another bhajan.
ठाकुर को महिमा गाइरानु होला फेरि फेरि भन्दैमा पाइँदैन यो चोला 84 लाख घुमेर आयौ मनुष्य चोलामा पुण्यको फलले यो चोला पायौ ठाकुरलाई भजना ओ 84 लाख घुमेर आयौ मनुष्य चोलामा पुण्य को फल ले यो चोला पायो ठाकुरलाई भजना ठाकुरको महिमा गाइरहनु होला फेरि फेरि भन्दैमा पाइँदैन यो चोला ठाकुरको महिमा गाइरहनु होला फेरि फेरि भन्दैमा पाइँदैन यो चोला
तिम्रो र हाम्रो के छ र यहाँ अन्त्यमा छोड्ने हो मनुष्य देह भक्तिमा लगाई ईश्वरमा जोड्ने हो तिम्रो र हाम्रो के छ र यहाँ अन्त्यमा छोड्ने हो मनुष्य देह भक्तिमा लगाई ईश्वरमा जोड्ने हो ठाकुरको महिमा गाइरहनु होला फेरि फेरि भन्दैमा पाइँदैन यो चोला
मेरो हुँदै भजन गरौँ नभुलौ मायामा ठाकुरको नाम जपेर बसौँ शीतल छायामा उमेर हुँदै भजन गरौँ नभुलौ मायामा ठाकुरको नाम जपेर बसौँ शीतल छायामा ठाकुरको महिमा गाइरहनु होला फेरि फेरि भन्दैमा पाइँदैन यो चोला ठाकुरको महिमा गाइरहनु होला फेरि फेरि भन्दैमा पाइँदैन यो चोला ठाकुरको महिमा गाइरहनु होला फेरि फेरि भन्दैमा पाइँदैन यो चोला
Thank you, mothers, for that beautiful song. It is wonderful to see how the bhajans and the bhajans have added to the energy of this event. And now, to add even more, I request Sharmishta Roy Ma from London, United Kingdom, to share and enlighten us with her experiences.
Jai Guru everyone. First of all, I extend my pranam to Shri Shri Thakur. I extend my pranam to Shri Shri Bodoma. I extend my pranam to Shri Shri Borda. I extend my pranam to Acharya Dev Shri Shri Dada. Jai Guru to all Dada and Ma over here. Today we are celebrating the 133rd birth anniversary of Shri Shri Thakur Anukul Chandra. And this is the first time all the brothers and mothers from all the different continents has gathered together to celebrate this mega international virtual Utsav. And like everyone, I'm very much thrilled and very much excited for this. So far, we have listened so many melodious bhajans and kirtans and few bhajans as well. So today I'm feeling very much blissful that I got the opportunity to share the topic of importance of ideal in our life, that is an idol-centric life. So today I would like to share few areas like the importance of ideal in our life and who could be our ideal. Who could be our ideal and how we can connect to the ideal. And once we are connected with an ideal, what will happen in our life. So these are the things I would like to focus on. So let's see the importance of ideal in our life. So what happens our life is full of learning. When we are kids, that time we learn from our parents, from our teachers, from our professors. So they are our ideal. So whatever the challenges we have faced in our during when we are kids, when we are in the teenagers, so we have always have some support. But when we have grown up, when we are living our own as a own, so challenges and are always there that time as well. So that time, if we have a living idol who can guide us what is right is happening, how to lead a life without stress, how to lead a life peaceful, so that time we need an idol to live our life successfully. Then another point we need the ideal is that our life is full of complexes. There are so many complexes in our life, like we have the ego, jealousy, angry, hypocrisy, etc. There's so many things are there which suppress our life to have a proper living. So if we can control all these complexes, and how we can control our complexes, because what happens, like one of the example of this complex is angry. When the people get angry, they can't control themselves, and because of that there's so many of issues, clashes happening within the family life, sometimes in the workplace as well. People are very much due to this angry, due to the jealousy, so many issues comes up. So we have to control our complexes. So how we can control our complexes? For that, if we attach to an idol, we can overcome all these difficulties and unnecessary stressful life. So for that, a living idol is very much important. If we see a normal person is born with so many capabilities, infinite capabilities, but those capabilities are in the dormant, or we can say in the sleeping or latent position. So he needs something to harden his capabilities, to maximize his abilities. So for sharpening his abilities, when we are kids, we have our parents with us, our teachers with us. But when we are in the school, they always help us to guide us. But what happens then, once we get married, we have our life partner, we have our society, our friends, who are always there to sometimes they are the, we can say they're important factors to sharpen our sharpening our capabilities or weakening our potential. But what overrides for all these type of issues is to have an ideal. So if we are attached to an ideal, then we can come off all those sort of issues that we have with within in our lifestyle. And thus a living ideal is very much important to sustain a very positive attitude in life, and it is necessary for the happiness, for the prosperity, for to lead a life, and so that we can defeat our negativity in ourselves. Everyone has so many negativity in their life, but within those negativity, how we can lead our life, how can we convert our negativity into a positivity? For that reason, we need an idol. So we have discussed so many about the importance of idol. Now see, who could be our idol? That is the next question that comes in our mind. So I would like to share a small presentation about who could be our idol. The characteristic of an idol. So when an idle person, normally he needs to be intelligent, he needs to be successful, he needs to be talented, he needs to be lovable, integrity of characters, and so on. So if you look for a particular character, you find all those traits in a specific ideal. For example, if you are a singer, you would like, then your singing teacher will be your idol, who will have all the characters that is needed for a singing teacher. Similarly, if you are a dancer, and your dance teacher will be your idol, will have all those characteristics. But we need someone who has got all the characters and who can guide us in each and every phase of our life. Because when we are kids, we have our parents to guide us, but they are not always with us. So when we are in the working phase, when we're in the middle age, we need somebody to guide us when we're in the old age. So we need a living idol in each and every phase, and he can guide us in all aspects of life. So for that, we need an idol. So one of the greatest philosophers of the modern times, Shishi Thakur, to whom we consider as our love lord. So he has given such a nice messages in one of his handwritten book called Satyanusaran, we call as the pursuit of truth, that I would like to share. So here Shishi Thakur has mentioned an idol-centric life, as is the ideal in whom you place the faith, your nature will be formed and vision to be like that. So beautifully Shishi Thakur has mentioned that. So when we put our whole faith to our idol, so if the idol has all those characteristics, all those good qualities, who can guide us for each and every aspects of life, so then what will happen? Our nature will be formed like him. Again, Shishi Thakur has mentioned in one of his messages that faith and love begets the intelligence and optimism, while disbelief and repulsion begets ignorance and pessimism. So as we have our love, so much deep our love with our idol, so that we can beget all the difficulties in our life. Currently, we have seen that this COVID-19 pandemic is all over the world. The people are suffering so much. Many people have lost their loved ones, and many people have lost their jobs as well due to this pandemic. But the life has become very much stressful, very much hectic, so much of dullness, so much of stress is there. But since, if you see, the people at the moment who are working with for this satsang, for this global Utsav, which has been blessed by Acharya Dev Shishi Dada. So we are all feeling very much energetic, and the whole energy has come together in the form of this satsang, Matu Sammalini. So many activities are going on, and we are almost forget that this type of difficult situation is going around. So if we attach ourselves with an idol, so difficult situation we can overcome very much easily. And if we are not attached with the Sadguru, then what happens? He said that a life without an idol, he who is devoid of an idol, he roams with dull and dusky eyes, lacking in worldly common sense. So it is quite, it happens like we know that what is good in life, what is not correct. But sometimes we lack in our common sense as well. And that leads to a very difficult situation. So once we are connected with an idol, so what happens? Like it gives us the strength, it gives a right path, right direction. A living idol, he has given us so many messages like Shishi Thakur Anukul Chandra, which we follow in our every day-to-day life, so that we try to avoid all those unnecessary mistakes, negativity, and all those things brings a positivity in our life. So that's why it is very much important to get attachment with our love Lord. So now we'll see the next part, like how we can connect to an idol. Like we have taught about the importance of the idol and who could be our idol. So now how we can connect with an idol. So for that, we need to be connect to the name of initiation in the name of Shishi Thakur Anukul Chandra. And once we practice the meditation, the holy mantra, then we can feel the presence of Shishi Thakur. So here it has been given a nice message by Shishi Thakur that through meditation and repetition of the holy mantra, the brain cells are stimulated, and gradually becomes more responsive. Thus, the sharpness of senses is increased. This is very much powerful. Like, as we know that in our brain cells, we have so many brain cells which are like in the dormant position. But when through the repetition of meditation and the holy mantra that we get after initiation, it helps us to boost up, to increase our brain cells, so that whatever the difficulties comes in our life, it gets charged. It tells us what has to be done in the right way. Many times, many people have faced that, like so many through the chanting of names, Thakur Naam, they have come through all the difficulties. They found the proper solution of their problems. So the holy name is a powerful tool, I can say, that can bring us a very much peaceful life, and it helps us to overcome all our difficulties, and it increases our efficiency. So that's why the meditation is very important in our life, and chanting the holy name. So I just stop the presentation here. So we have seen, like, once we are connected with the Shishi Thakur, then our life become very much, mind becomes so much conducive to understand the philosophy and to understand the ideology of Shishi Thakur in much more in proper way. So in that, once we are connected with him, then we can appreciate his messages more properly. Otherwise, what happens, like, if we don't implement all those messages given by Shishi Thakur, then our life is not doing the correct thing. So unless and until we are not implementing those messages in our life, will not grow, and the purpose of taking the holy name will not be suffice. So that's why Shishi Thakur, if we know, he has given us so many messages, more than 26,000 pages of messages in so many books like Satyanusaran, the messages, Alochana Prasange, discourses, and so on, in so many different languages as well. So once we go through those messages in a detailed way, and literally we see that Shishi Thakur has covered every aspects of life. Every aspects means whether it is a family life, how parents, how the relationship between the parents and the son or daughter, married life, that is all the family aspects. Then he has also covered the social life as well. How should we get social with the other different people? Then the health and hygiene, he talked about the politics, science, and so many things. He has covered every aspects of the life. And for all the mothers as well, he has given the book called Nari Niti. In Nari Niti, which is known as the Woman's Code. So here we see that Shishi Thakur has shown us how should be an ideal mother, an ideal daughter, and then an ideal wife. So what should be their characteristics that we can follow in our life, so that our life can be a balanced life, and this will bring the peace and happiness in the society and the environment. So when Shishi Thakur has written the book of Nari Niti, so that time he has considered Shishi Boroma as her as an ideal woman. So when we read through the Nari Niti, we see that all the good qualities of Shishi Boroma are all there. And if we try to implement in this modern era as well, so we can find so many changes in our life. Whatever the small issues we normally face in the family, in our working life, we can overcome those situations, and we can maintain a very harmony with the environment, which is very much important. So I feel very lucky that I'm associated with Shishi Thakur after my marriage, and the thing is, like, life is full of challenges. Even my life is full of challenges. Everyone's life is full of challenges. But after taking the holy name of Shishi Thakur, all those the life has become so much smoothness, because sometimes I have to maintain my family life, the work life. So the balance between all those things has come through very well after following Shishi Thakur. And since I'm following Shishi Thakur's the daily morning, doing the morning prayer, evening prayer, reading through the holy books, our children, who are our next generation, they are also getting influence from us, which is very important. So we have to do a bhajan to our family itself, so that our next generation, the coming generation, they can also take the holy name of Shishi Thakur, and they can put their understanding, their love for the Lord, so that their life is also blessed. Because at the moment, our children is with us, but once they grow up, so that time also they need someone, just like we have also we got the idol Shishi Thakur, so they will also follow him. So this is the time that we should also involve our kids to follow Shishi Thakur's ideology. So here Shishi Thakur has come to elevate each and human beings in the society, irrespective of his color, caste, social status, financial status. He has a solution for everyone. So before concluding, I would like to mention one of the messages of Shishi Thakur, where he mentioned that surrender to the idol, continue to move on, smashing and managing the sufferings that comes forth as obstacles, and be crowned with success. So if we surrender ourselves to the idol, so what we can do, we can smash, we can manage all the difficulties, all the sufferings that is coming in our life through all the success. And that is the powerful tool that we have got after taking the holy name of Shishi Thakur. So now with this, I'm concluding my speech. I pray to the lotus feet of Shishi Thakur, the well-being of each and every individual in this world, and they should be all blessed with Shishi Thakur. Jai Guru, Bande Purushottamam.
Thank you, Ma, for that enlightening and eye-opening bhajan. Moving on to the next segment, we will have Joy Radhe Radhe song.
জয় রাধে রাধে কৃষ্ণ কৃষ্ণ গোবিন্দ গোবিন্দ বল রে
জয় রাধে রাধে কৃষ্ণ কৃষ্ণ গোবিন্দ গোবিন্দ বল রে
জয় রাধে রাধে কৃষ্ণ কৃষ্ণ গোবিন্দ গোবিন্দ বল রে
জয় রাধে রাধে কৃষ্ণ কৃষ্ণ গোবিন্দ গোবিন্দ বল রে
রাধে গোবিন্দ 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 গোবিন্দ
গোবিন্দ গোবিন্দ গোবিন্দ গোবিন্দ
গোবিন্দ বলে সদা ডাকুরে
গোবিন্দ 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 বলে সদা ডাকরে
জয় রাধে রাধে কৃষ্ণ কৃষ্ণ গোবিন্দ গোবিন্দ বল রে
জয় রাধে রাধে কৃষ্ণ কৃষ্ণ গোবিন্দ গোবিন্দ বল রে
আরো রে মন কপট চাতুরি বদনে বলো হরি হরি
ছাড়ো রে মন কপট চাতুরি বদনে বলো হরি হরি
হরি নাম পরম ব্রহ্ম জীবের ধর্ম
পরম ব্রহ্ম জীবের মূল ধর্ম
ধর্ম কুকর্ম ছাড়ু রে
হরি নাম পরম ব্রহ্ম জীবের মূল ধর্ম ধর্ম কুকর্ম ছাড়ো রে
জয় রাধে রাধে কৃষ্ণ কৃষ্ণ গোবিন্দ গোবিন্দ বল রে
জয় রাধে রাধে কৃষ্ণ কৃষ্ণ গোবিন্দ গোবিন্দ বল রে
ছাড়ো রে মন ভবের আশা অজপা নামে করো রে নেশা
ছাড়ো রে মন ভবের আশা অজপা নামে করো রে নেশা
গোবিন্দ নামটি বদনে লইয়ে
গোবিন্দ নামটি বদনে লইয়ে
নয়ন নীরে সদা ভাসুরে
হরে গোবিন্দ নামটি বদনে লয়ে নয়ন নীরে সদা বাসরে।
জয় রাধে রাধে কৃষ্ণ কৃষ্ণ গোবিন্দ গোবিন্দ বল রে
জয় রাধে রাধে কৃষ্ণ কৃষ্ণ গোবিন্দ গোবিন্দ বল রে।
রাধে গোবিন্দ 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 গোবিন্দ
গোবিন্দ
বলে সদা ডাকুরে
গোবিন্দ 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 বলে সদা ডাকরে।
রাধে রাধে কৃষ্ণ কৃষ্ণ গোবিন্দ গোবিন্দ বল রে
জয় রাধে রাধে কৃষ্ণ কৃষ্ণ গোবিন্দ গোবিন্দ বল রে।
ছাড়ো রে মন কপট চতুরি বদনে বলো হরি হরি
ছাড়ো রে মন কপট চতুরি মদনে বল হরি হরি।
হরি বল হরি বল হরি বল হরি বল
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 বল হরি বল হরি বল হরি বল
হরি বল হরি বল হরি বল হরি বল
হরি বল হরি বল হরি বল
হরি বল হরি বল হরি বল হরি বল।
নাম পরম ব্রহ্ম জীবের ধর্ম
নাম পরম ব্রহ্ম জীবের মূল ধর্ম
কর্ম কুকর্ম ছাড়ু রে
নাম পরম ব্রহ্ম জীবের মূল ধর্ম ধর্ম কুকর্ম ছাড়ো রে।
রাধে রাধে কৃষ্ণ কৃষ্ণ গোবিন্দ গোবিন্দ বল রে
জয় রাধে রাধে কৃষ্ণ কৃষ্ণ গোবিন্দ গোবিন্দ বল রে।
রে মন ভাবের আশা অজপা নামে করুণে নেশা
ছাড়ো রে মন ভবের আশা অজপা নামে করো রে নেশা।
রাধা বল রাধা বল রাধা বল রাধা বল
রাধা বল রাধা বল রাধা বল রাধা বল
রাধা বল রাধা বল রাধা বল রাধা বল
রাধা বল রাধা বল রাধা বল
রাধা বল রাধা বল রাধা বল রাধা বল
রাধা বল রাধা বল রাধা বল রাধা বল
রাধা বল রাধা বল রাধা বল
রাধা বল রাধা বল রাধা বল রাধা বল।
রাধে গোবিন্দ নামটি বদনে লই
গোবিন্দ নামটি বদনে লইয়ে
নয়ন নীরে সদা ভাসুরে
রাধে গোবিন্দ নামটি বদনে লইয়ে নয়ন নীরে সদা ভাসরে।
জয় রাধে রাধে কৃষ্ণ কৃষ্ণ গোবিন্দ গোবিন্দ বল রে
জয় রাধে রাধে কৃষ্ণ কৃষ্ণ গোবিন্দ গোবিন্দ বল রে।
গোবিন্দ 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 গোবিন্দ
গোবিন্দ গোবিন্দ গোবিন্দ গোবিন্দ
গোবিন্দ বলে সদা ডাকুরে
গোবিন্দ 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 বলে সদা ডাকরে।
রাধে রাধে কৃষ্ণ কৃষ্ণ গোবিন্দ গোবিন্দ বল রে
জয় রাধে রাধে কৃষ্ণ কৃষ্ণ গোবিন্দ গোবিন্দ বল রে।
জয় রাধে রাধে কৃষ্ণ কৃষ্ণ গোবিন্দ গোবিন্দ বল রে
I now request mothers from United States, Singapore and Malaysia to give the Awan dhwani.
जय गुरु आवन ध्वनि शिष्य ठाकुर कथित वन्दे पुरुषोत्तमं वन्दे पुरुषोत्तमं वन्दे पुरुषोत्तमं। आर्यस्थान पितृस्थान उच्च सबसे पूर्यमन, अमर रहे आर्यवत, जाग उठे आर्य जात।
आए कृष्टि के जो व्याघात, खड़ग से कर निपात, जीवन वर्धन के चले विपरीत ही, मल्लेच उसे कहती है नीति।
इष्ट नहीं हो जिस नेता को, यम दलाल ही समझो उसको, एक आदेश में चलते जो, उनसे ही समाज हो।
सत्य और श्रेष्ठ है जिसका आश्रय, उन्नति उसका बाधाहीन है निश्चय। शंख चक्री आज भी नारायण, जन्म लेती धर्म संस्थापन।
सिद्ध नहीं मंत्र दे, मरे मारे करे खाए, सबको बचाना अपने बचना, उसको ही तू धर्म समझना।
धर्म में सभी बचते बढ़ते, संप्रदाय को धर्म ना कहते, पूर्वतन को जो नहीं मानता, प्रकृत मलेच वही कहलाता।
10 विधि संस्कार रखो याद निष्ठासार, यजन याजन इष्ट विधि, करने से काटे महाभीति।
मुक्ति लाती है स्वस्थायनी, राष्ट्र सह से बचता हर प्राणी, कर्म नहीं चिंता सत, पिछिल्ला पूर्ण नरक पथ।
बाचे बारे सदाचार में, लक्ष्मी रहती उसके घर में, इष्ट के लिए है जो काम, उसमें ही तो पुण्य तमाम।
टका पराया मानुष अपना, जितना हो मानुष धरना, मौखिक ज्ञान नहीं व्यवहार, ऐसी शिक्षा को धिक्कार।
जितनी अटूट मातृभक्ति, ओ लड़का हो उतनी कीर्ति, स्त्री वर को वरण करे, उस विवाह से समाज बढ़े।
प्रतिलोम से कु का है जन्म, राष्ट्रीय समाज जाति का यम, स्वामी का प्रति आकर्षण जैसा, सुख पाता है जीवन वैसा।
अभ्यास व्यवहार जैसा, संतान का जीवन भी वैसा, सदाचार में नहीं रत, भय उसे प्रतिपद।
मछली मांस न खाना और प्याज लहसुन मादक दो छोड़, युग के हैं जो सर्व प्राणी, वहीं से आती विधि की वाणी।
I now request Rajni Ma from Canada to give dhwani.
वन्दे पुरुषोत्तमं वन्दे पुरुषोत्तमं वन्दे पुरुषोत्तमं। परम प्रेममय श्री श्री ठाकुर अनुकूल चंद्र जी की जय। परम प्रेममय श्री श्री ठाकुर अनुकूल चंद्र जी की जय। परम प्रेममय श्री श्री ठाकुर अनुकूल चंद्र जी की जय। परम आराध्य जगत जननी श्री श्री बड़ी माँ की जय। परम आराध्य जगत जननी श्री श्री बड़ी माँ की जय। परम आराध्य जगत जननी श्री श्री बड़ी माँ की जय। परम पूज्यपाद श्री श्री बरदा की जय। परम पूज्यपाद श्री श्री बरदा की जय। परम पूज्यपाद श्री श्री बरदा की जय। परम पूज्यपाद आचार्य देव श्री श्री दादा की जय। परम पूज्यपाद आचार्य देव श्री श्री दादा की जय। परम पूज्यपाद आचार्य देव श्री श्री दादा की जय। सत्संग की जय। सत्संग की जय। सत्संग की जय। वंदे पुरुषोत्तमं वंदे आर्य पितृम वंदे मातृवर्गन वंदे अहम कृष्टि देवतम वंदे पुरुषोत्तमं वंदे पुरुषोत्तमं। परम प्रेममय श्री श्री ठाकुर अनुकूल चंद्र जी की जय।
Joy Guru everyone. With this, we come to the end of this event. I am sure we all have our own takeaways from this wonderful event. It is emotional and at the same time fortunate to think that Sri Sri Thakur has given us such a huge family called Satsang. We can be in different parts of the world and yet united for Thakur with unbendable enthusiasm. With this, I pray at the lotus feet of Sri Sri Thakur for everyone's well-being and happiness.